Here's the hard truth. If you don't speak up, their story becomes the only story. We're talking about silence. In this series, we're talking about how your silence is helping this alienation trend continue on down the tracks. So silence is the strategy that they're counting on, and it's time we flip the script. So first of all, this is the battle of the wills. Alienating adult children need for you to be silent. It protects them from accountability. So by you keeping quiet, your silence is their victory because it cements their version of the story as the truth. Now, you know these kids are out there talking some kind of smack about you, all these kind of nasty things that you did, this generational trauma. They're thriving on secrecy, because they can tell more lies if you keep your mouth shut. So it's time to open your mouth. And what does silence do? The false stories that they put out there, like they were toxic, they don't respect my boundaries. Like, boundaries is a hot button with me, boys and girls. I think they're stupid, okay? Sorry. Come for me if you want. I don't care. They don't respect boundaries. They were never there for me. If you guys don't say anything, these things go unchallenged. If nobody is challenging what they're saying, nobody's going to know the truth. And so your silence shifts the blame onto you instead of onto them where it belongs. Okay, so now let's talk about some research that backs this up. There's a lot of research out there now, A couple of years ago when I started this on this journey, there wasn't a lot out there for alienated grandparents. There's just a few things, but now there's all kinds of studies, I guess, because now they have data. They have historical data that they can, depend upon. So in Nebraska, there was a study. Estranged parents are more confused about reasons than their adult children because nobody tells their side. Nobody tells the parent's side. Because again, they're just keeping their mouth shut. Family secrets research. Secrecy is a slow violence causing generational damage. I talked about this in my last video about generational trauma. The second, wounding studies say when you speak, people often blame you, which pressures many to stay silent. Why is it a trend? Online forums, therapists, and social media are normalizing no contact. If you ever get a chance to go and do some research on your own, just go onto Instagram and search for no contact and see what comes up. You better have like your big girl pants on because it ain't gonna be fun. So silence lets alienation spread like wildfire, making it look like alienation, no contact, estrangement is a healthy choice instead of a destructive epidemic, because that's really what it is. All right, so now for some solutions. Let's expose this thing and reclaim that narrative, shall we? Tell your story, post publicly, social media, blogs, YouTube, or even Medium. Medium is like, it's like a blog website where you sign up for an account and then you can tell your stories. You can put your journal on there. You can teach people. You can make anything that you want on this Medium. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. And it's not like you got to build a website. So I'm going to make a whole nother series on how you can put yourself online so that when your kids are old enough, they can go Google you and find you so that they can contact you. Okay, so tell your story. Speak calmly and factually. Don't rant. When you're telling your story to people, don't be like nagging and negative. Take what you're learning online, what you're learning hopefully from my channel, and tell people what's going on and speak intelligently about it. My child has chosen to go no contact with me, and it's actually a social contagion and a destructive epidemic that's destroying families. So I'm just making my way towards healing for myself. I'm trying to live a peaceful life for myself. I still love and miss my child, but I have to move on because this keeping to myself and isolating myself, it really is destroying me. So I'm trying to live my best life. That is how you do it. You don't go like, man, because people don't want to hear that. Okay. When they see you coming, they're like, oh, shoot, here she comes. Let's run away. Your voice breaks their monopoly on the narrative. So when you are speaking about this and you are helping to expose it, share my channel with people that you know that are in the same boat. Because if we help spread this thing like wildfire, you know, the whole goal of my channel is not to like, you know, make $1 million on YouTube. Because let's be honest, that doesn't happen. Maybe for some like 12-year-olds, but the whole goal of my channel is to spread the word, because people need to know that how popular this thing is. And the more we talk about it and the more we call them out on their BS, the more faster it's going to end. I am determined. I know that in my heart that that is what's going to happen. So share as much as you can. And then, okay, so that was number 1. Let's go to number 2. Leave breadcrumbs for your grandkids. So write letters and, you know, some scrapbooks, journals, videos, and I will share some other breadcrumbs that you can leave for your grandkids. Do a blog or do a 23andMe. When you do 23andMe, people can find you when they're looking for their lost relatives. Did you know that? Yeah, there's a guy on YouTube that's doing that whole thing with finding, he's like from the Philippines, and he's helping the Philippine children who were born there from military fathers. So that's a really interesting channel. I'll leave a link down in the description. It's really interesting. So yeah, so document your side of the story so that one day the truth can be told. So just write your story every day, and reframe the shame. Alienation is their choice. You're not a failure. It's their choice. They chose to do it. Isn't that right? Yeah, it ain't my choice. It ain't my first or my last choice. Okay. So by speaking up, the shame transfers to where it belongs. It belongs on them. The people who choose the estrangement, they're the ones that need the shame, not us. And expose the trend. Like I said, share educational content like my channel. If you find other things, send, you know, to your friends or whatever. And eventually when I make my school community, I want you guys to join my school community so we can all be in there and exchanging some ideas. I this worked for me. I emailed my daughter this, and you know, I really want to help create a space where we all can jump on board and help to end this alienation trend. So in our final video, number 4, we're going to look at how your silence doesn't just affect you, it shapes what your grandchildren believe, and that may be the most devastating cost of all. So that's all I had to share today. My name is Annie, and this is Grand Alienation. I'll see you guys on the next one.